Okay, so we are going to go over a few different options for different selection criteria that you could use in video ad versions. Let's go back to the same advertiser that we've been using in the previous examples, which up to this point we have been using this Town North Nissan. So let's hop into the video ads tab here. And if you haven't watched the videos yet about adding a new advertiser for dynamic video, or requesting a template, or if you plan on using Facebook, if you haven't watched the video about configuring your Facebook accounts, go ahead and watch those first and then come back to this one. Okay, so let's think about some different scenarios here with some different selection criteria for these video ads. Let's use the example that you've been talking to this advertiser and they want to do a used price range for one of their ad versions. And they told you, I just want to highlight vehicles between $10,000 and $15,000 that are used vehicles. Very easy to do. Okay, so we would give it some kind of title, used between 10K and 15K. We would select a template, which in this case is our one requested template. And then we would choose this custom sort option. And our next step would be to add a sorting condition. And now to create these vehicles used between 10 and 15K, we would obviously check used here for condition. We could maybe include certified if we chose to. We would choose dealer images for the classification, stock if you want to include stock, and placeholder if you want to include placeholder images. Doubtful you want to do that. But then for this particular ad version, we've already got used defined. We've already got dealer photos defined. All we need to do now is define this price range. So we come down here to price, put 10,000 on this side, 15,000 on this side, and choose something to order these by. In this case, it would probably make sense to order these ascending by price, so it starts with the lowest price in this price range and moves up from there. But you can order these however you see fit. And we'd add that, and this would yield this exact result. First vehicle would be the least expensive in this price range. Second vehicle would be the second least expensive in this price range, and so forth. And as soon as one of those sells, it's obviously replaced by the next that meets that criteria. Very easy to set something up like this. So let's do a different example now. Let's say that a dealer wants to create a used feed again for this ad, or used selection criteria. But in this scenario, they want it to be a body type specific ad. So they want it to only be used trucks. Also a very easy result to achieve. So we'll rename this used trucks. We'll once again select our one requested template here, and we will add a sorting condition. Now we obviously want to select used. We can include certified if we want. I'm going to select dealer images, and now I'm going to come all the way down here to type, and I'm just going to choose truck. And we can order this however we want. If we wanted to start with our most expensive used trucks, we could certainly do that and go down from there with price descending, or we could start with our cheapest and go price ascending. We could order this a number of ways if we wanted to, but the most common is going to be by price. So I'm going to add this sorting condition, and now we've got it here. And in this case, it's going to start with the least expensive truck in inventory and go ascending from there. If the dealer wants to exclude things like maybe a truck with 200,000 miles on it that's $3,900, we could do this in a different way, in which we do everything the same: used, dealer photos, type is truck, but we can put a little price floor on this and say, let's not include any of those vehicle records that are below 15,000. Let's keep this as our used trucks that are above this price, but starting around here and going up ascending. That's certainly an option as well. Very easy to configure these. So now let's look at a slightly more complex example, just to give you a better idea of what the tool can do. Let's say this is a Nissan dealership we're using for this example. It is Town North Nissan. And let's say they wanted to do some kind of new model lineup where they wanted to show, let's not do new model lineup. Let's say new model specific. Let's say they wanted to show a new Altima ad, but they wanted different trim levels in there. They wanted to show an Altima S, and an SR, and an SV. They wanted to highlight those three vehicles. That could be accomplished right here in the ad version menu. And let's call this new Altimas. We would select our requested template, and we would add a sorting condition. So in this case, obviously it's going to be new. We would most likely want dealer or dealer in stock, and then model equals to or contains Ultima. And now we want to add a trim condition. So trim equals to S. For our first one, let's keep this price ascending as our ordering here. So it'll be our least expensive Ultima S as our first vehicle record. But we talked about adding multiple trim levels. So let's go ahead and add a second sorting condition. And in this case, we use new condition, dealer photos, model equals to or contains Ultima. I just use contains for model so that it's not a strict match. Trim, we probably want to keep as an equals to. And in this one, we'll use an SR. And we have price ascending on this. We're good. We're going to add this sorting condition. And let's go ahead and add the third on here as well. The same way. New, dealer photos, model contains Ultima. Always be aware of the capitals here too. Trim equals to SV as another trim level. We have price ascending already selected as our way to order these by. And now how this is going to work, let's say this is a video ad that has 6 vehicles in it. The first vehicle will be an Ultima S, the least expensive Ultima S. The second vehicle will be the least expensive Ultima SR. The third vehicle will be the least expensive Ultima SV. The fourth vehicle will be the second least expensive Ultima S. The fifth will be the second least expensive Ultima SR, and so forth. So when you add multiple sorting conditions here, you're setting the pattern for how these will display. So even if you wanted to do a round robin between 2 different types of vehicles, you could set that here and set the pattern and how they're ordered right here in the Add Version menu. And if for some reason you ever want to change how these are ordered, you can move these around as well very easily. And that's pretty much it. If you come in here and dive in, you can see there's a lot of ways to divvy this up and get the sorting that you want in these video ads and filter it down as much as you'd like to. All right, thank you.